See sucker soup on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry.
Well, welcome to Capital Region today. I'm so happy you're joining us today. We have got such a great lineup of things that are going on in Schenectady and in the area in general. Open to everybody to come on to Schenectady and see what's going on because we have lots going on here. We're going to be talking about Jazz on J, which is a fabulous free concerts. You're going to want to come to those. And then the Schenectady down on J Street, we're doing art and we're doing music, and it's going to be a fabulous Saturday for that. The Joan Nicole Prince home is here today to talk about what they do. Then we're talking about the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York, and they've got a great play coming up in Albany called Camp Logan. And then the Juneteenth Celebration is coming up. It's a holiday now, and we're going to be celebrating that for 3 days. Oh my goodness. So you're going to hear all about that today. I'm Ann Perilli, your host for Capital Region today, and we're going to start right off with our first guest, and that would be Susan Brink and Tom Coakley, and they are with Jazz on J and talk about music. Ta-da! Here we go. Music, music, music.
Well, Jazz on J was founded in 1994, so it's been going on a long time. You can find us at the corner of State Street and J.
Right on the corner, and are you going to be right on where Johnny's is?
Right near Johnny's.
Yeah.
Yes, and we've got in Schenectady such a rich jazz history, and we have world-class talent, so it's wonderful. From noon to 1:30 on Thursdays, we feature them.
And there's chairs available?
There's chairs available, but bring your chairs, bring your kids. Everyone should bring their children.
Yeah. Or if they aren't in school, but they won't be in school, right?
But this goes on through September 1st, so it's every Thursday from tomorrow, June 8th?
The 9th it starts.
The 9th, all the way through September 1st, so there's plenty of time.
And you can have lunch too. Grab a bite, sit down, enjoy the music, grab a bite, support our local merchants on J Street.
Absolutely. Plus there's the farmers market over at City Hall.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
You can go there, pick things up. You can also bring a lunch if you need to, but there's so many wonderful restaurants downtown. Come on down. The rain location is inside Proctor's Raw Valley this year. We presume that. So there's plenty of room and plenty of time, and you should come and enjoy it.
Yeah, and Tim is going to tell us who's performing, huh? Tim?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, who's coming on?
Well, we lead off with vocalist Colleen Pratt, and as you know,
she's
been singing
fantastic.
for a long time.
Yeah, a long
Comes
time.
from a great musical family, and it's always a delight to hear her. She'll be doing the first concert. The second concert features a group that is listed as the Arch Stanton Quartet.
Who's Arch?
There is no Arch. I asked him about that. Apparently one of the early spaghetti westerns had a plot theme in which a buried treasure was found near a grave, and the gravestone said Arch Stanton.
Oh, so they picked that up. Good for them. Good
I
for
remember
them.
going to see them once, and I didn't know anything. I said, which one is Arch Stanton? And I had to be told there was no Arch Stanton.
But that's fun.
Yes, and they'll be leading
I love trivia like that.
off in June 16th. And then on the 23rd, we have a group called the Wise Guys, which has some friends of mine in it. Jack Kelly's a drummer, and Rick Diefendorf is a guitarist and singer, and he has some pretty funny songs to sing. I think that'll be a lively performance. And then it's music by McIntosh. John McIntosh is a guitarist and singer. He's played on Jazz on J before. And I think Azam Hamid's going to be playing keyboard behind him.
Oh, nice.
That's really a nice musical afternoon. Keith Prey, who is a saxophonist.
Been around a while.
But he's leading a group called the Ortet, which is titled so because he's now playing organ.
Oh, is that how? Because when I went to type that, I'm going, what is that word?
What is an Ortet? Yeah, it's not an instrument.
Yeah.
But he's going to be joined by Brian Patnote on sax, Mike Novikoski on guitar, and Chad Foss on drums. So you know they'll be swinging.
Yeah.
And this, as Susan mentioned, this is a great chance for kids to hear a variety of jazz. Jazz comes in a lot of different colors. And
it does.
It'll all be on display.
There's Dixieland, it's all kinds, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Let me see, where are we now? Kevin Carey is a fine pianist, and he's going to be leading a group on July 14th. He teaches at the Gilderland Music Academy, among other things. And then Dylan Canterbury, great trumpeter, is going to be leading a group on July 21st. He's got Brian Patnote on sax, along with Rob Lindquist at the piano, Lou Smaldone on bass, and Matt Liebelski on drums.
So some of these performers will kind of morph into different groups.
That's
sometimes.
right. That's another attribute is their versatility. They can
Yeah.
play with one group and then fit in perfectly well with another group. As I say, I looked down this list and I said, there's nobody on here who doesn't swing.
The amazing thing, this is free. I mean, somebody's paying for it, but this is
Yes.
free
Yeah.
to the attendees.
Yeah, you just come down, bring your chair, as Susan said, and sit down and relax and listen to music. And let's see, who else? Oh, Caitlin Fay. She's a wonderful singer that I had a chance to hear up at Stoney's Irish Grill recently.
Oh, yeah, I know where
singing
Stoney's
with
is, yeah.
Cliff Brucker's group. She is a good singer. That'll be a chance for the kids to hear some lyrics from the Great American Songbook. The Art Deco Trio, I'm not quite sure who's in that, but they're going to have,
Yeah, they've performed before
Yeah.
with Jazz on Jay, I believe.
yes,
It's
anyway.
Mike Lawrence. Mike Lawrence is Art Deco.
Oh, okay, Mike Lawrence. And also a great saxophonist, Joshua Nelson, who has performed around here a lot. We heard him recently at a Jazz Vespers at the Reformed Church.
And I think they've been showing some of the pictures of some
Oh,
of them,
good.
although we don't have them all identified, but
Right.
they are up there.
Yes, I'm sure they recognize themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Trumpeter Chris Payson has a group that performs the music of Ornette Coleman, who's a kind of an avant-garde, or was, composer and performer, would you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so he keeps that repertoire alive. I believe he's going to have Harvey Sorgen with him on drums.
Okay,
It's going to be an all-star lineup.
good. And that will be, again, a different take on jazz
Good.
from what we've been listening to for the rest of this. GNP does not stand for Gross National
Well, that's all I
Product.
could think of when I typed GNP. I said, oh, that must be gross national
Yeah,
product.
we're going to give you an economic report. No, it stands for Tyler Giroux, Matt Nidbalski, and let's see,
Dylan Perlow.
Dylan Perot. who's
See, they won't forget it.
No,
That's
it's a-
because
it's a
they
piano,
picked a
bass,
really
and
good,
drums,
an acronym
trio.
that really
Yeah,
works.
Right,
Yeah.
GNP. Curly Lamb, that's Rhea Curley, who's a vocalist, and Chuck Lamb, who's a wonderful pianist. He's been bringing a lot of great musicians to Cafe Lena in recent years.
And when
They
he's
do a
not
great
do-
job up
And when
there.
he's not doing that, he plays with the Brubeck brothers.
Oh, with Dave,
Yeah, Dave
with the
Brubeck's
Brubeck
sons,
jazz,
yeah.
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 The kids. And we wind up the season on September 1st with trumpeter Pete Bellino. He's a wonderful trumpeter, and he's going to play music from the Great American Songbook, as he says.
Oh, yeah, I love
And
it.
he's got a surprise guest who I don't even know who that's going to be.
Okay, it's going to be a surprise for everybody.
Yeah, that's right. So that's quite a lineup for the whole summer.
Now, if you wonder why Tim knows so much, he does a radio show. Tell me about your radio show, just quickly.
I can't do it quickly.
Oh, well, do it when you can.
Do it
I
in
mean,
brief,
you-
okay.
You got yeah, you're all set. I got a minute or two.
Oh,
for you.
okay. Well, I've been on the air for a while at WAMC on Saturday nights from 11 to midnight doing a jazz show, playing all kinds of jazz from the earliest to the latest. And occasionally we have interviews with people, local musicians got a new CD out.
CD out, you gotta
Come
give
on
them a
the
little
show
plug,
and,
yeah.
And talk about that. So that's what I'm up to.
Well, the idea that we have people in our community that are historians, because the music you play is some of the old stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
That's way back. Jazz is over 100 years old.
I know it is, yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Is that Americana?
I would say so.
Because I don't know that, I mean, there was a lot of jazz in France, but I think that we brought it there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
It was founded in the black community,
sure,
and
absolutely.
and that's
New
where
Orleans
its roots
and
are.
Southern musicians, and then they came up to New York and Chicago, and then
Just spread it around,
it's-
right?
It expanded quickly.
Exactly. And there's many forms of jazz, and you're going to be able to hear all kinds of jazz if you come to Jazz on Jay, which will be on Thursdays from noon to 1:30. And the thing is, you can bring a chair. Sometimes there's chairs there. Proctor does supply some chairs. But if you want to make sure you have your own little comfy chair, bring your own chair.
Correct,
folding
that's
chair,
a good
yeah.
idea.
And, bring, stop by Ambition or one of the great little the Kettle there, all these great places on
Yep.
J Street, and
Absolutely.
we're going to be talking about J Street with our next segment either. So
Okay.
we'll be talking about that as well. So please, I hope to see you there. I'm going to try and get to some of these concerts. I'd love to get to every one, but there's always a conflict here and there. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll look for you.
Yeah, good. And thanks, Susan, and thanks, Tim Coakley, for being here today and to talk about Jazz on J. Now we're going to take a big swing over to my other side, and we're going to be talking about J Street again. Yeah. Hi, Amy.
Hi, how
Amy
are you?
Sonder is here from the DSIC, Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation. Got that right, yeah.
Yeah,
You're the program.
the promotions manager.
Promotion
So all the
manager.
fun events.
Yeah, good. So what fun event are you going to talk about?
So currently we are in the middle of our 4th annual Arts Week. So it kicked off last
I know, with
Saturday.
Jazz on J.
Yep.
I mean, Kids Art
Kids
Festival.
Art Fest and Schenectady Pride. So
Yeah.
we're excited to have Jazz on J premiering during Arts Week as well. And then this Saturday, June 11th, is a big community mural painting day. So we're building a mural right on the alleyway leading from the Clinton lot up to J Street.
Amazing.
So we're inviting everyone in the community to come out and help paint it.
Now, I think, weren't they going to have like a guide for them to paint or?
Yeah. So the artist Alana Mitchell.
So
Strong
don't
will be
get
there.
nervous.
Yeah, everything will be there for you. We'll have the colors planned out. It's going to be inspired by Monopoly and representative of J Street and Schenectady as a whole. So
And that's going to be on the, I love the pizza.
no,
place.
so the Pizza King, actually, if you've been walking down J Street, you've seen it already. But that mural was done by the kids at
That's
Kids
right,
Art
the Kids
Fest.
Art Fest.
And then it's getting touched up this week, and we'll do a big grand reveal at the event on June 11th.
Okay, and now where's this one going to be?
This will be on the alleyway. So right when you're walking from the Clinton
Oh,
North
the
parking
alleyway
lot.
from the parking lot.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that'll be done from 12 to 2 this Saturday, June 11th. And we're inviting everyone. Doesn't matter how talented you think you are, any of your ages or whatever it may be, it's going to be a great community day.
I think that it's great to do that. I love public art, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's so many blank spaces that we can use public art. If you go to Europe, a lot of the countries there do some beautiful
Mm-hmm.
public art.
Yeah, and we're looking to grow that. There's a Creative Connectors group that has been formed that really stemmed from that DRI, the $10 million that downtown Schenectady received. So this isn't the only mural that will be coming. There'll be more opportunities for artists to get involved as well as the community over the next couple of years.
I think it's pretty important to have art. It just kind of makes the community look alive
Yep.
or engaged. you
Yep,
know.
all the studies show too. It's great for the community. It's great for people coming into town. It's wonderful for the business owners. So
Yeah,
it's a
and people do
wonderful opportunity.
cooperate. Do you need permits to do that?
There is a process in place right now. We're kind of working with City Hall to alleviate some of those concerns to make it easier, since a lot of these artists work with nonprofits, and it can be challenging to secure all of the permit process that are
But
currently
if you
in place,
did it
but
on your own building,
you'd still need to go. Right now, you still need
Really?
to go through. Yeah, it's
Why
something
is
secretly.
that?
It's behind the scenes being worked on. So I
why
can't
is
give
that?
it to
I mean, you can paint your building any color you want, right?
No, all of that kind of thing does need to go through planning commission. Anytime you want to make any changes to an exterior of a building, whether it's painting, signage,
Stop.
anything has to go through.
You mean in
planning
downtown area?
commission. I mean Schenectady, the city of Schenectady.
Stop. You mean if I want to paint my house blue in Schenectady, I have to?
I think it's different for a homeowner
Oh,
than it is
okay,
like
all
a
right, good. You're
commercial
making me
building.
nervous
Yeah.
here for a minute.
But check on that. Don't I'm not lying.
She's not guaranteeing anything. Check it out first. Well, I mean, I'm just sitting here going, what? No, really?
Yeah.
So now, you're having, what is it, J?
So
Say that again.
Saturday
Saturday.
is,
Oh, I always get that mixed up.
is run by the merchants on J Street, and it's a monthly event. It's the second Saturday of every month, and it's live music, there's vendors, and there are all these tents out, so it's a wonderful day.
And you're joining in with that.
We are,
this-
so Running the River will be there this Saturday, so it'll be nice to have some music going on as the.
And what time does that start?
Starts at 12 as well.
12, okay, and your event is for
12.
12.
12 to 2 is the mural.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be a
gonna
beautiful
be on a
day,
good
actually.
day, right? It's gonna be
Yeah,
lovely.
Saturday has been great for the businesses. It's amazing to see everyone coming down and shopping and dining in downtown.
Yeah,
so.
and you don't have to worry about parking, you can park wherever, you don't have to pay or anything.
Right, we love free parking on the weekends.
I know, isn't it so great? Yeah, and there's so much to do. I mean, if you come down in that one area, you can go to the post office, you can go to the library, we've got the new bookstore from
Whitney looks
the Whitney
amazing.
bookstore
Yep.
there, right all in that one little area there. So there's so much to see and do, park your car and and enjoy the downtown area.
And it's easily walkable. I think people kind of get a little nervous about
Well, I
it,
know.
but it's very easy to get
Walking
from
is so
Kroger's
easy.
to downtown,
I love
everywhere
walking.
around it.
Yeah, and get out and walk.
Yeah, once
walk.
you cross Erie, I think people get a little hesitant. But
Well,
it's,
you
it's
know-
easier to walk from like Proctor's down to Frog Alley than it is to walk from the parking lot at SPAC into SPAC. So it's
really?
a smaller
Okay.
distance for
Well,
it. So we just want
it's
to remind
interesting because I went to Bountiful Bread. Down, that's across the street from you guys.
Yep.
And I got to Erie Boulevard, and it's like, oh my God, I got to cross Erie. Now, and me, I've crossed this as
Right,
a kid,
hundreds
you know.
of
But
times, yeah.
so I'm looking at this and going, but it was so easy. The light changes and you walk across. And
It's plenty of time to walk across. Yeah.
so I was really happy that it was easy to. So don't hesitate to take a walk down and see what's going on. There's a lot of things going down in Lower State Street.
Yes. Yeah. Frog Alley is certainly leading that way with live music.
And you're getting a
4 or
butcher
5
shop
times a
down there.
day. Yep. There's a Field Butcher Shop. There's talk of another restaurant. So everything's growing.
Yeah,
For sure.
I bet you're
It'll be an
happy.
exciting summer.
Yeah. Are you getting involved at all with Summer Night?
Yep, Summer Night returns on July 22nd. Better Than Ezra will be performing. The county just announced that, so we're very excited to have that back. We're expecting 18 to 20,000 people back.
And who's going to be doing the counting?
Jason LeQuee from the county will be up on stage,
Oh,
counting every
yeah.
single person. I'm sure he has nothing better to do than
No, I'm sure he had nothing better to do. I know I used to help out on with Summer Night, you know, with getting all the vendors in and stuff. Oh, that was
It's a
such
full day process.
Big
I'll
job.
be there, you know.
And then they were
right
saying,
early.
well, really, I wanted to be over, and you go, no, your schedule's over here.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, well, I'm 3 inches off of my spot, so could you tell that person to move? And you're like, that's bigger issues to worry about today. That's
So-
3 inches, but yeah.
And they actually close off the downtown.
Yeah, you really can't get in or out of downtown if you're taking a car after 3 p.m.
Right, right.
So you're going to want to get here early, shop, dine, and then hang out because the event starts at 5:30. The parking lots will all be open. State Street will be fully shut down. Parts of J Street, Liberty.
They can use the parking garage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we encourage people to park in the garage or any of the lots. And then street parking is free after 5 as well.
Okay. Well, what about the lots?
The
So
lots,
they can't-
the lots will be free after 5. You'll be able to get
After 5?
Yeah. If you park beforehand, you just need to either pay through the app or call.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a number on all of the parking lots.
Okay,
this way.
so the main thing is there is free parking for the
Yes.
event itself. And what
Yes.
time does the event start? At 5 o'clock?
5:30.
Oh, 5:30?
Yep, so it gives you that nice little wiggle room to
Okay,
get in.
good.
And we do have people coming quite early. The kids will come kind of right after school at 3 o'clock as people are setting up. And
It is fun to
It
watch
is.
them set up.
yeah,
Are you going to have, well, I mean, you probably don't know all the details. Are you doing the sand sculpture again?
I believe he's back, and there's actually going to be an expanded kids zone this year.
Yeah,
So the
Kids Art
entire
Festival.
area
Yeah.
around City Hall will now be free art activities for the kids to do.
Great, oh my God, I bet that's going to be an exciting night. And when is that, the 22nd?
Yep, July 22nd.
And it's going to be a
It's a
beautiful
Friday.
day, I understand.
Always has been, so.
I know it has. I think one year it did rain a little bit, but it rained and it was done.
Yeah,
It was so good.
we promise it'll be nice.
I want to thank you so much for everything that you do. I mean, I know you don't do it all, but you certainly are involved enough to get the word out. You have to know about what's going on. Schenectady is amazing in the summer.
Yes, it
We have
is.
so
There's
much
great
things going
partners.
on at Gateway Park. Is there anything going on at Gateway Park?
Yep, Create Community Studios will be running weekly events over at Gateway Park. And then right now, people love to use it just to suntan and to hang out, and it's a beautiful green space. It's probably one of the best ones in the city, so we're excited to have that back.
And we have to give a shout out for the Van Gogh.
That'll be here for quite a while longer, and it is phenomenal. Have you been into it
No,
yet?
I'm going to go over and see if I can't buy a ticket at
It's-
the Armory.
Yes, it's great. You want to book it ahead of time because they
Yeah,
do
but I
sell
mean,
out
I'm going to buy,
sometimes,
can I
but-
buy a ticket there at the
Yes.
Armory? I don't have to take it that day, but I can
No,
buy a ticket.
yes, you can go in, go through the gift shop.
I'm going.
enjoy it.
I'm
It's
going. I
really,
might even
really
do that
amazing.
today because I want to see the Van Gogh exhibit.
Yeah, just lay on the ground, look up and all around you, and it's breathtaking.
I
to
heard
take
it's
in.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go over and get a ticket because I don't want to do this all stuff online.
No, and you got to get in ahead of time,
I wanna
right?
get
I
in.
mean, it's here for a few more months, but you want to be one of the first
Yeah, I
ones
want
to
to
see
be
it.
the first so I can really talk about it.
And they sold out the first day. They had 12
I know that.
people
I
through,
saw
and
that.
it
I
was-
saw they did. So have you seen it?
Yeah, we
And?
went in before it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Ray Legier, give him a big shout
Yeah,
out.
everything that
To
Harper
work it
Studios
out.
New York is doing now with bringing in Amazon Studios and HBO and now Van Gogh has been
Ray is an amazing
exceptional.
man.
Yep, and to
Isn't
work
he?
with Metroplex and Ray Gillen and his team there
Yeah,
to
yeah.
bring those types of big
It's
organizations.
happening here in Schenectady, guys. You got to come down and check it out.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank
Always
you.
good to see you.
You too.
Say hi to Jim for me. Good. We're going to switch over and talk about another topic, which is in Glenville, actually, and it's the Joan Nicole Prince House.
That's
And I've heard such good things about, a friend of mine was there for a while, yeah. So I've heard such good things about it. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
tell me a little bit, Amanda and Toni. Yeah, right. Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Sure. So we're located in Scotia. We're in a residential neighborhood. We're actually a house, just a regular old home.
And we had a picture of it up there, I think.
Yeah. We care for individuals at the end of life. So these are people in our community.
Are they in hospice?
They are on hospice, who are in the capital region on hospice care, who have the fewest options and the most need in our community. So these are people really at the end of life. It's
That has no one, maybe.
that might have nobody. They might have nobody at all. They might not have the financial means to be cared for in their own home or to go to a nursing home. They might also just not have family members, or they might have family members who are currently caring for them, but are experiencing burnout and fatigue from
Oh, yeah.
the stress of caring for somebody, which is a lot. So we take these individuals in and we provide 24/7 care and support for not only them, you know, the patient, the resident.
Because
in
a
the
family
home,
member
family.
might come in, or a friend.
That's right, but the family as well. We really become surrogate family members to the resident and the families and the friends that come to visit them every day.
Now, the one thing that I think people may not realize is this is not like an institution.
No, so
You
we're.
have, how many, what, 4? Is that?
We have 2 beds, only 2 beds.
2 beds, okay.
Yep, so it's not a medical facility, which
No.
people often confuse us with nursing homes or
That's
a
why I wanted to make
hospital.
sure they realize this
Yeah.
is not an institution.
Yeah, we're not an institution, we're not a facility. Again, I cannot express enough, we're just a home in a residential neighborhood. So it's really intimate. It's just like as if somebody was getting hospice services in their own home. These, again, are individuals who can no longer stay in their home or wherever they were prior. So it's very intimate. They have their own bedroom, their own bathroom, their own TV, you know, dressing.
really? Oh, so
all of
it's a-
that.
yeah.
It's their own intimate room. They can bring in pictures. They can bring in their furniture from their home. We encourage
Anything to
them.
make themselves comfortable to the last.
Anything at all, yep.
stages.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful home. We have a nice, beautiful kitchen, a gorgeous
Who
backyard.
did Toni do the cooking?
Toni makes the cookies in the house. Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Toni's actually in charge of training for our volunteers
Oh.
and getting volunteers in.
So you have volunteers that come in?
Yes, yep. So
And
So
Toni,
the
how do
ho-
you get your volunteers?
So the home is primarily run by our volunteers. They provide hands-on care to these residents, and that's very intimate and close care. I mean, from combing their hair,
Do they have
giving
to
them
be certified, or just
no,
they're just there to help?
No, we will do what we call on-the-job training.
Okay.
We'll show you how to get them out of bed, how to turn and position them, how to change their underwear, how to give them a shower, all of that. Nope, we have all types of volunteers. We have stay-at-home moms, we have engineers from GE, we have retired nurse practitioners, and then we have medical students. And they're getting that experience for when they move on to their professional careers.
Oh,
It's
that's
wonderful.
a good idea. Yeah, I
Yep.
never thought about that. Now, you have, so as far as food goes, you have, who does the cooking?
Oh, right, so we actually have.
Anybody?
Anybody.
Anybody,
Yes,
yeah.
we actually have
So
volunteers.
you're not ordering out at McDonald's, right?
We're
We
not.
certainly could if they requested that
Yes.
though, but it's largely the volunteers.
For the healthy food.
Are
Yeah.
making the foods for our residents. So from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., it's a volunteer down with our residents in the home, providing not only bedside care, like Toni said, but also doing laundry and housekeeping and providing emotional support, maybe playing games with the residents. So
Yeah.
it's an all-encompassing role.
And how does hospice work with all of this? I mean, do they?
So
do they-
hospice is our medical provider. They will come in about once a week or as needed to assess our resident and change anything that needs to be
Their meds
changed.
or anything.
Medications, things like that. But we teach our volunteers to give them their medication, so it would be like taking care of a family member.
Exactly.
So it's more intimate than, and
Very.
you aren't really governed like if it was a nursing home or something.
Not at all, no,
Right,
we're
so
not.
we're able to give
No,
a lot more
it's more
care.
flexible.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so how do you get your money?
All through donations, 100% through donations and grants. We don't get any funding from insurance reimbursements like a hospital or a nursing home would.
No, they wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, we don't get any of that funding, so it's really 100% our community coming together to make this home happen.
I think it's
available.
amazing. So you can only handle 2, or can you handle
Two.
more than that?
Just two
Just
beds
2.
here at the home.
And they're
yeah.
usually there how long?
Well, we have a maximum stay of 3 months, so again, it's people who are really the most in need
Yeah,
at the end
they're,
of
well, like
life.
hospice, they don't come in unless you're.
Yes,
Right.
yep. So hospice is actually 6 months or less. So we're 3 months or less because it's really the time of need for people at the end of life, and certainly the family members who are providing care.
Right,
So
right.
we see individuals who might be there for a couple of days or even a couple hours.
Oh,
to
really?
A whole
Oh,
3
yeah.
months.
Oh, wow.
You never know what you're going to get here because end of life is a journey and it's always changing for every individual is different. So.
Well, I have to applaud the fact that somebody thought about it. So who's Joan Nicole Prince?
So Nicole Prince, actually, Tony's great at telling this story.
Yeah. Tony's
Well,
telling
I
us
will
that-
tell you that these homes have actually started out in Western New York. They
Oh,
found
really?
that, yes, they
There's
found.
more than one?
So there's about 35 in New York State.
I had no
Yes,
idea. I
yes.
thought that you were unique in
Yes.
this one little area.
Yeah, so it's the comfort care is the model of care of
Absolutely,
these homes,
yeah.
but we're all run very differently. We don't have one governing body.
Okay, so who's Joan?
So Joan is actually a Niskayuna, New York native.
so we're right back here
We're
again.
right back here. So unfortunately, she passed in the state of Virginia. She had breast cancer and left her husband and 4 children. And her husband made a monetary donation to the home to get it running and opened early. So we have opened in 2006 and have served over 230 residents in the capital region since.
Wow.
So her legacy lives on through in the home.
And I mean, what a concept.
Yes, yeah.
Beautiful. It's about community.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
about growth and learning and respecting people at the end of life, because just because you have a disease or because you're a patient doesn't mean that you're not a human being.
Well, this is sort of a European model, isn't it? I mean, did they?
It did. It's technically, a social work-based, community-based European model, but again, really this whole concept for comfort care models and houses originate in Western New York.
It's
They
amazing.
found that there
Yeah.
was a need for them to
There is
stay
a need.
within the
There is a need.
community.
Huge need.
Who wants to die in a hospital bed?
Right, or who wants to go to a nursing home where they may be transferred 50 miles away from their family. This
Right.
way, they're right in the community. Our current resident is a Schenectady native, and his family is from Schenectady, and it's close, and,
And you
it's
have like a
convenient for
living
them.
room. I'm sure that they.
Oh,
could
we have a
come-
living room, yeah, we have
Family
a
room.
family room type room. They can all come in. They can go outside if they want to in our beautiful garden.
And we have a meditation room, so it's very family oriented.
You have a good job.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
we
a
love it.
wonderful,
A
wonderful
rewarding
place.
job.
Very
Yes,
rewarding,
absolutely.
yeah.
So how long have you been there? I know you've been there a while, haven't you?
I have been there for a while. I actually started as a student intern when I was
Really?
getting my bachelor's in social work, and I kind of just stuck around. I kind of fell in love the first second I was there and moved my way up to being the executive director. So I've been a staff member, so probably three something years, and then Toni came around that time as well.
Yeah, I was also a volunteer. I
Yeah.
started, I was cleaning the house. I was looking for something to do when my children went off to college, and I wanted to give back to the community, and I fell in love with the place right the first day I was there.
Now, if someone wanted to volunteer, because we're going to talk about volunteering.
Yes,
If they wanted to
please.
volunteer, would they contact you?
Absolutely.
And they said, well, I can only come for 2 hours a week. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Our volunteers normally work in 4-hour shifts.
Oh,
and
4-hour shifts.
4-hour shifts. But if they want to do gardening, if they want to cook a meal, if they want to make Amanda and I chocolate chip cookies, that's fine. If they want to do some dishes for
Yeah.
us or vacuum, anything will help.
Any talent at all,
Yep.
aside from resident care, is welcome. But resident care volunteers are certainly our most significant
Yeah,
need.
because you really need someone
We
who
do.
can take care of that.
And again, we can train them right there in the home. We actually have a mannequin, but we actually use ourselves. We'll teach you how to get Amanda
Sure,
out of bed. We'll turn and position her. Because it's good to just throw you right in and just do it on a live person rather than a mannequin.
And I like the idea that it's not so structured, because
No.
life is not structured.
It's not,
Right.
it's not, right.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, I mean, there's so many, I mean, you need that personal thing rather than saying, well, we can't do that because that's the rules again, you know, it's that
Right,
kind of thing, you know.
right.
You do what needs to be done.
Yes,
Right,
our
right.
current resident keeps asking us, well, when is dinner time? When is this? When is that? And we
So
said,
when are you
know,
hungry?
It's when you
Exactly,
want it. There's
yep.
no schedule here. You're the king of the castle. You tell
Yeah.
us when you want things
Yeah.
done.
What a wonderful
And he had a
way.
milkshake for breakfast
Yep.
yesterday,
When
so,
he had a milkshake for breakfast.
so no rules, right.
Me, I like pizza for breakfast.
There you go.
Perfect.
If he wants it.
Leftover pizza for
That's
breakfast
right.
is my idea of a
Yes.
good breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to applaud what you do, and I do want to encourage anyone that's watching right now that may say, gee, you know, I have a few hours a week and I'd like to help out.
Yeah, and we actually have an open house Saturday, June 18th, 10
Okay.
to 4. So
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned
yeah,
that.
if you want to just come on by, even if it's for 5 minutes, we can give you a quick tour, talk about
And
what
where are
we
you
do.
located?
22 Glenview Drive in Scotia.
Where is that?
It's right off of Route 50 in a
Okay.
residential neighborhood.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's quiet and it's
Very quiet, very peaceful,
yeah.
perfect neighborhood.
how wonderful that Joan Nicole Prince, her legacy lives on. Because- And I had
Absolutely.
no idea that you had a number of them throughout. Yeah. Thank you both for being here, and good
Thank
luck, and I
you.
hope you get lots of volunteers.
I hope so
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you so much.
And now we're talking about what, well, hi, how are you, Remy? Good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
Yeah, and you're doing, and you brought an actor with you, or your
He's the
director.
director. He's an actor.
Aaron,
too. He's
Aaron Moore
everything.
is the director.
Yes. Yeah.
And what do you kind of help him a little bit, or what?
Help him? He doesn't need my
He doesn't need any help.
directing. He doesn't need my help.
Now, you did Camp Logan before, didn't you? In the back, in a yard or something?
Camp Logan. No, Camp
No.
Logan was our first big production.
Okay, your big
back in
production, okay.
2012.
Okay.
He was actually.
Oh, see, my memory.
He was actually at the Schenectady Community College
Okay.
stage.
Yeah.
And when we first did it.
Yeah.
And it was important, especially with the way we're living now, what's going on in this world. It was important to bring it back, and it's that kind of show, and to bring back.
Well, let's go over to Aaron. Aaron, how many actors are in your production?
Let's see. I count. So James.
That was a trick question.
Sure.
No.
7.
There you go. Seven. There you caught me on.
7.
So,
7, okay.
That I can help him with.
Yeah, that's
And how would you describe the play, Aaron?
The play is, I describe it as sort of a look back, almost as like a tableau, a painting sort of coming alive as we look back and we see the lives of these soldiers that all they wanted to do was to fight for their country and to bring some sort of honor into their lives, being black soldiers during that time period. They never had.
And you're talking World War II.
World War I.
1917.
Oh, 1917.
Yes, World War I.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
World War I.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So-
sorry, I should have known
Oh,
that.
it's okay.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say it's sort of kind of a like picture frame on this one moment in their lives that is them trying to find meaning and to find substance about who they are and what they truly represent as an individual, as a soldier, as a race. So we kind of cut that out and we sort of hyper focus on that sort of miniature journey.
And please forgive me, was there segregation at that time in the military? I don't know, I'm just asking.
Sure.
Oh yes, no, big time. They were actually there was different. They were the 24th. What you call that? They were they were segregated. The black soldiers were in their own camp.
Oh, see,
And
that's
then-
what I'm not
right,
aware,
there
so
was-
I'm asking.
Right, yeah, they were in their own camp. This was the 24th Regiment, all black. Even though their supervisor, captain is white,
Always
and,
right.
But they were there in Texas,
Yeah.
in training to go to the war, and because they were black, and they were being harassed by local white, and
This is in Texas? you're talking?
1917. If you Google the Texas Camp Logan riot,
Okay.
So they were there being.
Did you say riot?
Yes.
Riot?
Right,
Okay.
yes. They were there meeting
I'm
training.
learning,
I know.
guys.
That's why I do this kind of show.
I know.
They were there being in training to go to the war, and because they were black, they were being harassed by local white, and then
Even though they were going to be fighting for
their
our
own
country.
Right.
And then they ended up, because of that, they were attacking them, and they had to defend themselves. They ended up fighting their own people, and they never.
And you know what?
get to the
Has
war.
it changed? I mean, sometimes you
No.
kind of wonder.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
that's why.
sorry, I
well, no,
digress.
but I think that's why what Remy said about how important it is to do this show. Especially as theaters opening up, as we're in a new space and
I know you're a cap
Right,
rep. You're on
right.
the main stage with this, right?
Right, yeah.
So I think it's important that this goes up because it's like before we kind of get back to business as usual, let's remember the voices that often go unheard. So I think that's what drew me to this project. When Remy was talking to me about it, I thought this was a perfect opportunity and example to kind of lead the way. Well, all right, if everything's opening back up again, we're going to make sure that we're going to be we're going to get a piece of that pie. We're going to be at that have that seat at that table.
Yeah. Just so to be clear, during the riot, and then so a lot of black soldiers died, and on top of that,
So here they're fighting for our country, and yet they get killed on their own land.
they get killed, but they ended up hanging 20 black soldiers.
Hanging, did you say?
Yes. Yep. Camp Logan riot.
Well, I am really, you're really
So I
kind
had to
of,
make it clear to say that
you're
it wasn't just
really
a fight.
kind
They were
of
just
messing with my mind here. I
Yeah.
can't believe that would have happened.
I mean, Greenwood and all this stuff, those are stories they don't teach you in school. They don't tell you in school. You don't hear about it.
Right.
So this is our job.
It's your
The Black
job to
Theater
do
bring
this,
that,
get the
to
word out.
educate people, yeah.
Right.
I was not aware.
Yeah. And a lot of people, even the actors who come into the show say, wow, I did not know that. So we're not only educating the public, whether you're black or white, but
It doesn't make any
but
difference.
also
You need
the
to know the
actors in
history.
the community, yeah.
You need to know the
You
history.
need to know it, yeah.
I know that we hear about the Tuskegee Airmen,
Yeah.
Right.
but
It's
but
all the same.
this is
which
the underbelly
Sure.
of what
Yeah.
went on during that time that we need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine volunteering to fight for your country because you really believe that the German, we were fighting the Germans at that time. We did that again, didn't we? But anyway, but we were fighting them then. And so you're a young man and you're saying, I just really want to do something good and I'm going to protect our country.
All that, those actors let them know too, all that is in the play. So hopefully, more people come out and check it out. We have, Thursday.
You're already in production. You're already
We started last week, and we have Thursday through Sunday this week.
Of this week
Tomorrow
to
through
see.
Sunday.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask when you. I always ask this question:
Okay.
age appropriateness. How young could you bring a child to this?
This is a play. It's very educational. As long as you can sit still and understand it, and I think it's important for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's important for any age.
It makes no
Yeah.
difference what race you're at. You need to go see this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to understand. Now, Aaron, you're directing this. Is this how many directing jobs have you had, or
Oh.
I mean, so
Quite
you're a
few.
seasoned director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is actually this is the sort of first show post-pandemic that I've been back into. So I'm very.
You're lucky to find him, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, me and Remy
We
have
work
been
together.
Oh,
have
you've
worked
worked
together
together
several
before, okay.
times, and we've been talking about different projects to work with. So when he asked me to take on this project, just from the project itself, and then from working with the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York and working with Remy, it was just such an honor to.
This
to
man
be
is
asked
amazing,
to-
isn't he?
No, absolutely.
He's amazing. So what are you doing for the next season? Because I know you sent a flyer.
Next
So let's
season-
talk about next season.
Well, we have a great.
Yeah, is it up there? I don't
We
know if
have
they're
four
gonna-
production. We have 4 production a season, and
Yeah, you can take a cheat sheet out. It's
yeah,
okay.
we have 4 production a season, and coming up starting.
And they're all going to be a cap rep?
The first one, and we have 4 shows starting this August. The first one, Flying West, and it's going to be at the GE Theater in
Oh, here?
August. Yes.
Okay,
August
good.
25th.
Okay.
And
Of
then-
June? did you say?
This August.
Oh, August, I'm
August,
sorry.
yeah,
Excuse
in a
me.
couple of months. I hope it's
Yeah.
not June.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, how could you do that?
Trouble.
But,
Yeah. And then we have one, the next one in October 28th at Caprep in the Black Box.
Oh, and the upstairs.
Upstairs, yeah. That's August 28th to November 6th. It's called Knock Me a Kiss. It's about the daughter of W.E.B. Du Bois.
Oh, Du Bois.
And her.
Du Bois?
Well,
If there's
a lot of
two
people say
pronounces-
Du Bois.
Because it's French.
Yes, but I learned that
He doesn't pronounce it that way.
no, it's
He's a
Du Bois.
Bois.
Du Bois,
Yeah.
yes. And it's about his daughters and the whole history with him and his daughter and his daughter's relationship with her husband.
So are most of your plays kind of based on real life? Or
Not
are they
all.
fictional?
Not all. Some of them are fiction. Not all, but but it's always
Or
stories.
fictionalized story?
Right.
Yeah.
It's always stories that to educate people, mostly to tell people about our culture, our
Right,
struggle,
right,
and what
right,
we went
right,
through,
yeah.
about racism.
And that's needed.
Yes, definitely, yeah. And the third one is going to be on the main stage at Caprep called Top Dog Underdog. Yes, I know. And the last one is Hoodoo Love, which is June 1st through June 11th. So we have
23.
we covered 23. We covered all through June 2023. So and Top Dog is March 2nd through 12th.
And how do you select your plays?
How do I select my plays? I do a lot of reading. I
I was going to say, because your focus
Yeah.
is more narrow
Right.
than just whatever's out there.
We're different from most theater companies because we do certain work that nobody does it up here.
nobody
Even if they do it every 5 years. But we need more than that. And we also have to do work to bring in more people of color,
Absolutely.
more people, specifically black, but we work in
The
in
talent's
BIPOC
out there.
in
The
general.
talent's out there.
Yes, every day, I'm getting a call now, people want to be part of this.
Yeah.
So, and we're doing, really good. So it's, so we definitely do work to make sure we give opportunities to
To playwrights as well as.
playwright. Yeah. All our plays are written by black
Oh,
playwrights.
are they all? Oh, I
or-
didn't realize that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Aaron, glad to hear you're doing a great play here. And
thank you.
you have really educated me on King Logan.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm startled and I'm saddened. Please, thank you for bringing that out.
No, thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
no.
bringing it up here.
Always good to see you.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
back again.
I will.
Yeah,
Thank
good.
you.
All right, thank
Good
you.
to see you, Remy. Thank you,
thank
Aaron.
you.
We're going to switch right over and talk about, yes, a big celebration coming up. Juneteenth is coming up. And we're all going to be there, right?
Yes,
Good. Good to see you, Walter.
always a pleasure.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Yeah, he was, you were named, older American of the whatever, one of those things. I remember seeing him, so that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Recognized by the county, right? Yeah, okay. Miki. Miki and Betty are representing the Hamilton Arts Center, and Walter you've been with Community Fathers forever, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
You started it.
Right, I was one of the founders.
You were the founders, that's what I
Yes,
mean, forever.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good.
We're still there.
Yeah, and I know that when we talked about Juneteenth, and I mentioned this to Miki and Betty, that I always find that when you do at Vale, I find that quite good.
Yes.
And that's, where are you starting out with it? You're not going to be starting with Vale, you're going to be starting with,
We are.
oh, you're starting with Vale?
Starting
Yes.
with Vale.
Okay, and that's going to be on what day? Friday?
Friday.
June 17th, Friday, June 17th.
Okay, good. So, what are you going to do at Vale?
Well, this year we're doing our Kwanzaa in June.
Kwanzaa in June?
Kwanzaa in June.
How does that work?
Well, that works because what happens is that, when we have our Kwanzaa
You mean like
festival.
Christmas in July?
Yes,
you're doing
yes,
Kwanzaa in
yes,
June?
yes.
Okay.
That's where we get the idea from. But the thing is that a lot of times people don't understand that this is not something you just do once a year,
Right.
light and blow out some candles. This is a value system that we need to institute in our community.
It's cultural,
Yes,
very cultural.
yes, yes. And it's about the fact that it was created before Kwanzaa there was the 7 principles that was actually called the Nguza
Well,
Saba.
the professor, wasn't it a professor
Well,
that?
He created the
Kwanzaa,
Kwanzaa,
yeah.
but it had already been done.
He solidified it.
Imamu Baraka actually started talking about a black value system under the Nguza Saba, and then he put the celebration of it during that holiday period.
Okay, and
That's
I know,
what Karenga did.
Miki, when you were on it at the holidays and talked about Kwanzaa and the candles and the food and the.
Celebrated
yeah,
every
the-
year.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Betty, how are you involved?
I am not involved in the 17th, but I will be there. And if they should need me for something, I'm there. I think last year I did something last year.
Yes.
But we honored, oh goodness,
Warren Mackey.
Warren Mackey. We honored, his family was there.
So it's got, I see Juneteenth, and thank goodness it's a holiday now, and
Yes.
stamped and
Yes.
it's there, right?
Yes.
Recognized.
Yes.
Good.
Recognized.
But I see that as not just party, but a serious side to it, which when you do the Vale Cemetery and honoring different people. And I think it's important to have that aspect of it, but also the celebration. Who doesn't like to party?
Right,
So
exactly.
how are you partying this year?
Well, this year, on the Saturday, the 18th, we gather at Central Park. We have activities going on all day
And music.
and music. Betty is in charge of the stage. She organizes the entertainment from that perspective. I organize the pavilion, which has workshops and different kinds of opportunities, dance.
And they have informational booths as well, usually.
Information booths, vendors.
Food, what about food? I
games.
love food.
All kinds of food.
All
All types of food. Last
Yes.
year was first celebration as a legal holiday. And believe it or not, Ann, we had at least 4 times as many vendors as we've ever had.
4 times, wow.
So there
You
was
take-
all types of food.
So when I come to Central Park, you're going to be by the pavilion and also the main stage?
We're gonna be in the whole park.
You're going to take over the whole
We're
place.
gonna take the whole
Party on.
We've got bicycle people there giving away bikes and doing little shows for the kids and fixing their bikes and, I mean, it's just something to do at every step you make.
And what time does this start? I just want to get the.
Sure. The program at the stage starts at 2. The activities throughout
You're
the park
usually
start
earlier
at
than that.
1.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you're usually earlier. And-
Yeah, so we start at 1. Excuse me, the vendors get there early to
Of course,
set
they got to
up.
set up.
And there is still room for more vendors. So
Okay.
if anybody's listening who would like to come out and vend.
Are you going to have any of those like peanut soups and things like that that are very traditional?
We're having soul food.
Okay.
Ribs and chicken and collard greens and those kinds of things.
There's an
Love that stuff.
There's an Italian vendor that's
Yeah.
gonna be there with her, you know.
And you know, the Italians are
So
big on
we got-
greens, whether they're collard greens or any kind, we're eating greens.
Yeah. So there'll be plenty of food, there'll be plenty of entertainment, there'll be sack races for the kids.
Oh, so there's going to be involvement for the
yeah.
kids.
Oh, yeah, it's a family
Oriented.
It's a family affair.
Now, should people bring their own chairs, or what, are you, because it's a music haven stage, so there's chairs there,
There's
but
chairs
what
there.
about if they want to sit on the grass or something, how do they?
Well, you know what, they have now instilled seating where it used to be all grass. So there's seating for everyone on the hill, but a lot of people like to bring their own chairs and get at the top of the hill and just make themselves comfortable with their cooler and,
Oh, so they can bring their own cooler if they
can
wanted
bring
to,
their
yeah.
cooler, it's It's still
I mean, if you got
Central
6 kids, sometimes you gotta give them Cheerios and stuff to keep them quiet.
Yes.
Exactly. But you can also bring like your family group, stake out a table.
Oh.
A picnic table in Central Park and have your own sort of location and then range all over the park to enjoy
And then
the
get your treats at all the vendors.
Right.
Exactly, because we want to support the vendors that are there, they're bringing their things. Walter, are you going to be doing at the Vale Cemetery talking about the burial area as well?
Yes.
Because you have done that in the past.
Yes, we always do, you know. We always try to have Moses Viney, who was the runaway slave, be a part of whatever's going on. And so this way, because we have to connect the dots. It's a question of how does everything historically move together in terms of the evolution of a people. And this is very important because even with the Juneteenth and moving into that part in Central Park, it's really about the family. You know, it's not, you know, you're going to get some entertainment, but it's not to have a party. It's for people to come together and for them to socialize
Community,
and,
like a
and to
community.
commemorate
Yeah.
who we are. And the fact is that sometimes we were the last chosen to be free. And this becomes very important.
Because that's what Juneteenth is all
Yes,
about, right?
yes, yes.
And that, what surprised me, and I think Miki and I had talked about this before, freedom was out there. It wasn't until, was it Texas was the last one? I mean, and look at what we were just talking about with Camp
Yes.
Logan.
Yes. Well, you see, this is why it's very important that people come out so that they can participate in the living history. Because we're not just reenacting, just like the play is not just reenacting, it's to awaken the memory of who we are and what we have gone through being here. And especially as we move into the turn of the 21st century, when if we're not careful, we can go backwards in a minute. So
We're
we
finding
have-
that out with women,
Oh,
with women's rights, aren't
Right,
we?
right. See,
I'm
but-
waiting for them to take away our vote, you know,
But
who knows?
But
you
but
know?
again, too, it can easily happen. We almost saw a whole governmental
voting,
system,
yeah.
right, go down and switch up and become a dictatorship here.
Exactly.
And so we have to be there to be able to represent freedom and express what it actually is. Because somebody says you're free, that doesn't mean you know what it means to be free. But they learned what it was, because it's not just somebody telling you you're free, it's your ability to interact with your world that makes you free. And you can't be.
I
Yes.
love what you just said.
Yes, see, you can't be free.
That is true.
Yeah, you can't be free unless you're equal. And this has been the major problem, is the question of equality. And what happens is sometimes things get hijacked, because when the civil rights movement started, it was about equality, being able to go to restaurants and eating with everybody else because you were paying the same. And all of a sudden, the media called it integration. So they switched the language of what was going on.
Rather than equality,
Right.
they talked about integration.
Right.
And that makes it a bad word.
Right, but what it
Right?
did was, it made people think that black people just wanted to be beside white people, as opposed to the fact that we want
just want equal
rights.
rights.
That was it.
Well, you know what always disturbed me, and maybe it was just me as a kid or a young person, when they kept saying, well, the schools are, what did they say, separate but equal?
Yes, yes.
And that doesn't work.
Right. But you got to remember, the Supreme Court said that the Negro had no rights that a white man had to respect.
When did that happen?
That was a part of the United States Supreme Court decision.
When was that?
Well, this was right.
I did not know.
This-
I am learning
this-
so much
this
today.
this was after Reconstruction, okay? When the Jim Crow...
You're free, but we
Yes.
don't have to pay any attention.
Right. You're really not free, because we're saying to you, you're not equal. So if a white man says
You're
something...
free, but not equal.
Right,
Okay.
right. But you see, because the freedom...
I'm processing, I'm
Well,
sorry.
freedom was used loosely because it was never considered in terms of people of color. Freedom was a word that was usually meant for white Christians. okay? So we into a whole nother thing, but,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one.
But while we have time, I do
Yes.
want to
Yeah, we have time.
say a few other things
Yeah.
about Juneteenth. that-
Excuse us for digressing.
No, it's important. So, and that is, those kind of discussions are part of Juneteenth as well. But I wanted to say, we've been celebrating Juneteenth for 22
I know you
years
have.
now.
Yeah. You've been on the show almost every year talking about it.
Yeah, right.
And I've been doing the show 25 years almost, so there you go.
There you go. So it's become a tradition, and traditions are so important in our community. 1 year, Juneteenth didn't occur. And people, I would run into people all over
When
the
was
place.
that? Did I?
This was the year I retired and someone
Oh,
else
and it
was
fell.
hired.
Yeah, it fell through the cracks, right?
Well, it
Yes.
was a decision by the
Executive director then.
yeah, the director at that time.
Of Hamilton Hill Hearts? Did
Yes.
that?
1 year, that was all.
1 year, and then I said, you know what, I'll do it myself.
Good for you.
That
Good for
year,
you.
but
Yeah.
but what happened is a lot of people would stop me, you know,
Say, where is it?
and say, what happened to Juneteenth? And it was then that I realized what an important part of the beginning
It
of
was,
the
it's
summer
important.
Juneteenth had.
I always look for it. I think it's great. Yeah.
I was getting phone calls the day that Juneteenth should have been
Saying what
going
happened?
on.
Where is it?
Where is everyone? You know, what's going on?
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes it only takes one person to
Yeah.
mess things up. But I mean, I don't know that they mess things up. But I have no idea
They did.
what went on back there.
But it was a
And I'm not
lesson.
going to go there. But we didn't talk about Sunday.
Right, so Sunday is a special day. The Art Center was given funding by the Schenectady Foundation to build a sculpture park. There were vacant houses across the street from the Art Center. And they cleared the land.
It's a sculpture
cleared the
park now,
houses.
right?
Now it's a sculpture park. So the grand opening, the unveiling of the sculpture, which is a sculpture of Ogun, and I'll tell you more about that in a sec, but it'll be the unveiling at 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay.
But there will be celebratory activities going on all day. It's at 412 Schenectady Street.
Right across
Just
from
right
them.
across the street from the Art
Yeah.
Center. And
It's street
it's
parking, right?
another-
Street parking?
Street parking, you can also, there's limited parking in the
Yeah,
Art
there's
Center's
not a lot of
parking
room
lot.
there, yeah.
So, it's another collaboration with Community Fathers, which is, we
Father's Day.
enjoy collaborating
Yes.
together. So
Yes.
it's Father's Day, and Ogun in African belief systems is considered the father of civilization.
Oh, okay.
So we're
I'm learning a lot
celebrating
today.
our
Oh, hey.
community fathers and the father of civilization by the unveiling of this.
Got so much going on. I'm going to just say who's coming up at our next show. We're having the Harbinger Theater coming on, and they're doing a play called Exit Strategy, which has to do with the school. We're going to talk about Music Haven, great concert series in Central Park. That's where you're going to be at, is there. The Schenectady Rotary will be on. We're going to be talking about their cornhole tournament, which should be really interesting. We're going to talk about Summer Night, and we're talking about the Old Stone Fort and Museum in Schoharie. So we cover everything. So we can come back and talk a little bit more. We have about a minute and a half here. So I want to tell you to keep going with this and don't let this drop. Now, you got somebody to pass it on to if you,
We're working on it.
you know, because that's what happens.
Right.
Unless you pass it on or get people involved. I mean, it happened with Kids Art Festival. Karen Johnson was really into it, but she had, she got ill and passed away. But we ended up getting Betsy Sandberg that took over. So it's important to have that
Yeah,
one
each
other
year
person
we
in
try
there.
that. Each year, we work on that, as we said. We try to find someone that can, be there. Last year, actually, there was someone else that needed to be in Miki's place because she wasn't with us last year.
First year, I wasn't
Oh,
there.
first year, she wasn't able to attend, but it was a family thing. So we missed her, but I mean.
Keep it
yeah.
going. Well, you're watching Capital Region Today. I'm Ann Curley, your host for the show, and we got another great show coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and catch us on YouTube.
See you sucker soon on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day.